Hello friends, this is Nikita. Thank you all for joining me in this video. First of all, I would like to extend my thanks to all of you who has liked my previous videos and have subscribed to it. Thank you very much, and also thanks for the love you have showered in the comment box. That is really motivating for me to create more videos on the topics which you request for. So in this particular video, I would talk about the different OBJ methods we have in PEGA. Basically, whenever we write any activity, we have to use OBJ method extensively throughout our PEGA development journey. So that is why this video we would understand the basics of each OBJ methods, and also we would run through a practical example. We will do it in an activity and then trace each and every step. We will understand what is basically done at the background. Okay, and also all these OBJ methods are very useful to the point of view of the interview preparation. So please, whoever is preparing for the interviews, go through this video till the end and understand each and every method, and do this by yourself in your personal edition to get the understanding. Okay, so with that note, we can start with our video. So let's jump into my application, and so this video, first of all, let me delete everything which I have created, and we would start from the very beginning. Okay, so this is my activity. In this activity, what we would do is we would go through each and every OBJ method, right? So let me first start by creating a page. Let me create a page. Let me name it as test list. Okay. Now, first of all, I would start with Obj Browse method. Okay. So what does Obj Browse method do is it basically fetches the records from the class, and class is mapped to a table. So basically it fetches the record from a table, okay, with the filter condition we specify. So coming to this method, what are the parameters we have to pass here is the page name. Page name is something, the page in which we would fetch the record and store it, right? So let me name it as test list. Okay, and test list is a list. Okay, so basically it is not a page, it is a page list. Okay, so for this particular page we have to declare it in pages and classes, right? So this is a page list. So code PEGA list is the standard page list class we have in PEGA, which we can reuse, and then the result would be saved in a list, right? And the list has to have the class mapping of the same class in which we are fetching from, right? So that is why we have a px result page list property. Okay, this page list property we would give the class as our class in which we are fetching. Okay, so this is basically the pages and classes. Coming to OBJ class, okay, in which class from which class I want to fetch my records. Okay, so currently I have this class and have two instances already there, right? So let me take this particular class as an example and put it here. Okay, now what is maximum record? Maximum record is the maximum record which you want to fetch, right? So suppose in select queries we can use a limit, right? Limiting the number of records you want to fetch. We can fetch 100, we can fetch 1000. That is our limit. So this is the maximum record. We want to give the limit, so I can give the limit as 2. Okay, row key, it is basically the primary key, and which is PZIN's key, so it would remain same. Use lightweight list is something like whenever we're fetching the records. It is a CPU intensive operation, right? So fetching the record. So to increase the performance of this particular fetching, what PEGA does at the background is uses a lightweight list which reduces the time taken to fetch the records. Okay, so this is basically the lightweight list. Coming to logic. Logic is we would specify some filter conditions. What filter condition basis of which the records would be fetched. So when we specify the filter condition, we can use logic operators and or to make our condition fulfilled. Suppose I have one property which I want to fetch. It's Pziansky, okay, and I just want value only. I do not have any equal or some condition here. I just want to fetch this record. Suppose we have a select query, right, where we do select this where clause. So here basically in select means we are just having the select conditions. Okay. Coming to the other condition or other columns you want to fetch. I want to give a filter condition as p by id. Okay, it can start with L. I want to fetch all the records where p by id starts with L. Okay, and if I do select, what will happen is basically it will pull the p by id also. Not only does it give the filter condition, but also the p by id value would be fetched with the records. Okay. So suppose I had to make you understand what is logic here. Suppose I had a name property also, and I wanted to name to be equal to Nikita. Okay, right? So now coming to the logic, I have to specify some logic here, right? Because this PYD starts with L, okay. But name is equal Nikita. Do I want an AND condition or condition? Like what is that I need? I can need that PYD should start with L and also the name should be equal to Nikita. So that is basically the AND condition. Or I can give an OR condition that either PYID starts with L or name is equal to Nikita. So this is something which we can do in this logic parameter. Okay, so basically these are the things which we should take care of in Obj Browse whenever we're doing it. So I think name is first of all not needed. Let me remove it. Okay, so I don't need any logic also, only A is enough. Coming to I have this page right. I want to show this in my tracer that what this page contains, so I can give an empty step and give the page as my page. Okay, and at the end I would remove this page because this is not needed afterwards. So I have removed it. What we would do is we would run this and trace it to understand each and every step. So let me run this. Okay, trace it. Okay, so it ran successfully. Coming to my tracer. So let me keep this side by side. Okay, great. Let us go through the first step. First step is already the page new, so that is okay. Basically, it created this test list page with the Obj class we specified in Pages and Classes tab. Coming to the second step, which is Obj Browse. In Obj Browse, we can see here that is written that RDB operation return result set with 2 rows. So 2 rows were fetched, and this were the select query which was used at the background. So select Pziansky because we specified here Pziansky, PYID, okay, we specified here, and as I told you, I have selected this select checkbox, so this value would also be fetched along with the filter condition which is satisfied. as Pziansky, okay, fine. And then this is the table. This is basically a table which is mapped to the class, and where P by ID and PX Obj class is this. Okay, well and good. Let me close this, and first of all let me see what are the content of my page. So this test list page has two results. You can see that the result count is 2, and 2 result basically what all are fetched. PYID, okay, we asked for it. Pziansky, we asked for it. Obj class would always be fetched, that's okay. So these are the different records which were fetched. Okay, so far so good. I think this is all about Obj Browse. Okay, let's jump into another method, which is Obj Open. Okay, Obj Open is very simple, but yeah, there are some nuances to it. So let's understand it. Okay, so suppose I have fetched some record here, right? And I also, what I can do is, let me first delete this Obj Browse. Okay, let me use Obj Open directly. Now as you can see, I have used Obj Open. It is not a list now, so let's use page. Okay, well and good. Now change here also, test page. Okay, and what would be the class? Class would be the same. I would fetch the instances from this class. Okay, now Obj Open, what all parameters we have to specify? Yeah, coming here, open class. Okay, the class from which I have to fetch the record, lock, release on commit. So this is very important. So when you're fetching the record, Obj Browse was different. There we were browsing the record. Okay, it was a read-only access. But Obj Open is something where we are opening the record and trying to change something to it. Normally, you do Obj Open whenever you want to change something to the record. Maybe you want to add something. Maybe you want to delete something. You can do anything, right? So basically at that time we do not want two different person to use the same work object at the same time. So for that we use locking method. So here when we try to open the object, we would do a lock and then also give a release on commit on it, because we want to release the lock whenever we commit the work object, like we have done the work which we wanted to do. First of all, let me give the class name and then use lock, release on commit. What is lock info page? Lock info page is basically the page where you want, you can, have the name of the operators who have already locked this particular work object. So if you want, you can write it in pages and classes. And the class would be system locks. So this is the class where all the locks are, all the locks details are stored. Okay, coming to here, property name. So now this is a bit tricky. What is Obj Open does is, Obj Open is a Obj Open fetches the record, but record always have some primary key, right? The key, which is the unique way which you can identify the work object. Let me go to that class to understand what is the key. Okay, so I'm in the class. I want to know what is the key of this. Since this is belongs to a class group, you know what it means. It means that you have to go to the class group. Yeah, so here they will specify the key. So this is the key, PYID key. Okay, so now I know the primary key. So if I know the primary key, I can very well write that I want a PYID with value as L of 1. Great. Okay. Now, so my result would be saved in test page. Okay. I do not want to use anything as obj save right now. Let me just see how does it looks when we obj open it. Let me run it and then trace it. Okay. So we have yeah, we got one result returned with one row. Okay, great, that sounds good. Now let me see what is the content. So it will have every property which this particular record has, everything, right from the out of the box py property, px property, pz property, all the property would be there. So now you can see, right, stage history, flow, and all the stuff. So this is basically the Obj Open. So first of all, what you have to remember when you do the Obj Open is you need to know the key. You need to know the unique key through which you can open the object. Okay. So this is Obj Open. So now let's see another Obj method, which is Obj Open by handle. So this is very similar to Obj Open, but there is one major difference, that how do we fetch it. So let me delete the Obj Open and add a method Obj Open by handle. Okay. Okay. So basically in this method, what we do is we use the instance handle as the key to open the record. In Obj Open, what do? We use the primary key, right? So primary key can be a combination of one or two fields, okay? But PCINS key is a separate identifier, okay, through which we uniquely identify the class instance. So it is actually a combination of the class, concatenation of the class and the INC handle. So let me show you. Let me open the work object. Let us take this work object. Okay. Now when I go to the clipboard and go to the py work page, I can see all the properties in this particular work object. So let me let me try to see what is PZANSKI. So you can see PZANSKI, it is a combination of the class and the INC handle. That means the case ID. Okay. So let me close it now, and I'll use this to open the record. Okay. Similar to what we had in Obj Open, lock and release on commit, we would see the same here. Okay. So okay, so Obj Open by handle is done here. So I will run it and trace it, okay, to show you how does it look. Trace and run. Okay, well and good. Let me open the tracer. Okay, so here it is. We have opened the instance. You can see here open instance, right? So instance is open. Select PZPV stream where PZANSKI. This is the background SQL which is fired. We are actually fetching the PZPV stream, that is the blob, right? So total blob is fetched. It is not that we are fetching one particular one or two particular property. We are fetching the entire blob. As you know, in PEGA we store the entire work object in the blob, and whenever we need to have certain properties for reporting, we optimize it and then create the column for it. If we don't create a column, it would be stored as a blob for sure. Okay, so this is what it is. Now when you open this test page, okay, so let me do one thing. I think I will have to specify the step page, so I would be able to see that in my tracer. Okay, let me run it once more. Okay, now let me show you how does the test page look like after Obj Open by handle. It would be the same as Obj Open, no changes, as these are the different methods we are fetching the record, but whatever is fetched would be the same because it is the entire work object which is fetched. That means the blob is fetched. Okay, well and good. So this was about Obj Open, and Obj Open by handle is done. Now let me go to the other important method, which is Obj Save. Okay, so when you do Obj Open, either Obj Open or Open by handle, it's one and the same, but you do it for certain changes in your work object. You might want to change any update any property, or you want to add any property or delete any property. You might be doing you might be wanting to do something. So let me try to show you here. Let me create one step. Okay, so what I'll do the property set. I want to change one property in it. Okay, what it can be, I can use suppose PY note, which is a PEGA out of the box property, so I can use it anytime I want. I want to give it that note as I changed the property. Okay, I can give anything I wish because PY note is text. So yeah, so this is in the step page which you have done it. Now what will happen is this would be changed the property, but will it reflect? Will the DB reflect this change? No. For that, what we have to do is we have to do Obj save. That means we want to save this particular change what we have done. Let me do a Obj save. Okay, so in this step page I have done the Obj save. Since I'm running it standalone, let me show you by doing a write now. So in write now, what will happen is as soon as I change the value, it would save it. Well and good. So now let me run it. I will trace it. Okay. Okay, so I got my tracer here and I got my activity here. Let's keep it side by side for our convenience. Okay. So as you can see here, RDB operation returns set with one row with the same SQL query. So this is the test page. Okay, great. This is when we have pulled the all the properties. Now in the third step we have done a property set. Okay, we have changed the py node property. Let me see if it reflects me or not. Let me try to search a py node property. Okay, great. I changed the property. Okay, so this is reflected correctly, but this is just the property set. It is there in my memory. It is transient memory, in clipboard memory. But in DB, will it get saved after the third step? No. For that, we have kept a fourth step. Fourth step is Obj save. So let me see what does Obj save do. So you can see here, step 4. It is where the Obj save begins, and there is a DB query merge commit. You can see here, right? So now this is happening at the DB level. So when you do the Obj save with commit now, with write now, this is committed. So now when you see the step after Obj save, if I try to find py note, I can see that I changed the property. So that means this py note has been saved at the db level. Okay, so to verify this, what I can do is I can go here, I can open this L2, my work object, and in clipboard I want to check what is my value. Okay, since I have used py no, okay, so here it is. I can see that my I chain the property value has been saved to the db level also. So this was about obj save. Coming to the last set of property, we have obj delete and obj delete by handle. So for it, let me first delete all the things which I have opened. Now after page new, I want to use a obj delete. Okay, I want to delete the step page, but for that I need to have the instance first. So what I can do is I can do a obj open. Okay, and I will open one instance. Let me keep it as L1. Okay, class would be my loan class. Okay, I will do lock, release and commit. Great. Lock info page. Okay, now I would do a obj delete. So I want to delete this particular work object, right? So I would do a remove, I would do a immediate save. So it should delete this particular work object. Let me run it. Let me see how does it look in the tracer basically. So when I run this and it succeeded also, let me see what it does in the background. Coming to here, okay, let me make it side by side. Okay. Okay, fine. Now you have done obj open, great. And when you do an obj open, you can see all the values being fetched, great here. Now this obj delete starts right from here, step begin. What it does, it does many things in the background. It does delete the index, location, work, party. All these are classes which are linked to the work class which PEGA has created by itself. Okay, so when you go to this page, this is obj delete test page. Okay, so now let me see what happens to my work object. Okay, so you can see my L1 has gone. So obj delete worked. That means this obj delete basically what it does, when I pull the record from obj open and use obj delete with remove and immediate and the step page as the same page, it removes that work object from the DB. Okay. Now coming to obj delete by handle. Obj delete by handle is basically the easy way of doing it, but it's just you have to know the PGINS key from the very beginning. Let me see if I use obj delete by handle for this particular scenario. Okay, so I have this instance handle which I have to specify. You know what is instance handle by now, right? It is the PGINS key. Okay, so when I go to this class instance which I'll have to find my PGINS key to delete it basically. So let me find my PGINS key. Where are you? Okay, got you. So this I can use in my activity. Okay, let me use it. Great. I will lock. I will release on commit. I'll do a lock info here. Okay, so you must be wondering that why we have not opened the work object. How can I delete it without opening? Yeah, So that is what Obj Delete by handle does. The background, it opens the work object and then do a Obj Delete. Okay, so it is like a combination of two steps in one step. Okay, great. So I want to immediately delete this work object. I don't want to keep it with me. No use to me. I can create my new. Okay, joke aside, let me start by running it. Okay, trace it. Wonderful. Okay, so step succeeded. Mission completed. Not yet. Yeah. So here what we are doing is we are doing a Obj Delete by handle. So as I told you, first what it does, it selects, it fetches the record, and then there is one insert data PR syslogs, which I mentioned, right? That whenever you are trying to do anything like opening and deleting, you want to do anything to the work object, you have to acquire the lock. So basically, we have in PEGA we have a class system logs which is mapped to the PR syslog table. Okay, so whenever we do anything, PEGA at the background, what it does, it inserts the this record in the PR syslog, because we have specified here that we want to lock and we want to release on commit, right? So that is why it is done like this. So now what you see here, there is a commit and etc, etc, etc. Okay, great. Now when we open this, great. So Obj Delete by handle has basically deleted it. I will verify it. Want to see? Oh God. So I do not have any record here. That means it worked. Okay. So this was all about Obj methods, okay, in PEGA, in activity which we have to use day by day. So you have to be very consistent with all these methods, because these are used extensively in our PEGA application development, and this would be needed, right? I would request you all to go through this by yourself, right? Create your activity, use all the methods, check it in Tracer, how does it look, check it in DB, whether it has gone or not, verify it, okay? So that way your learning would be complete. I think that's it all for today. Thank you all for watching this video. Please like and subscribe.